Zerline connects on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
The former 3rd overall pick, Quinnen Williams, there to bring him down.
Big Quinnen Williams continuing to improve in the middle of that line for New York. Had 13 sacks in his last 2 seasons, which is excellent for a defensive tackle.
Now Joe Burrow on 3rd and long. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I'll tell you what, these last couple of drives, much better from a defensive perspective. They gave up a touchdown on the opening drive, and then after forcing a punt on their last possession, it looks like they're going to get the football back again.
47-yard punt, a return of 4. And the Jets will take over. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Charles, this offense, they've been on a roll. 2 drives ago, they scored. Remember, last drive was that one-play touchdown strike, so now they're looking to make it 3 for 3.
You know, I talked to a Hall of Famer one time about, hey, when you're on defense and these types of things are happening to you.
Now White lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Breece Hall with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Jets go up by 2 touchdowns. Zerline good with a PAT. And it's now 21-7. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
That was an interesting look there, because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. A pretty wild first quarter. 21-7, our score. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Inside handoff to Mixon. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll stay on the ground, Mixon again. And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41. But the Bengals had the remarkable run to the Super Bowl last year, but one team that gave them trouble were these New York Jets. You might remember back in Week 8, it was the Jets rallying behind backup Mike White, who threw for 405 yards and 3 touchdowns. A throw for Boyd, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Hall. And the Jets are going to take possession of the football. That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation, too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw, or maybe the ball's tipped, or just too many bodies in the area, an interception can result.
And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. That's good for 28 yards. This offense continues to be a hot knife through butter. 3 drives, 3 scores, and knocking on the door again on drive number 4. They'll run with Hall. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Breece Hall on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Jets are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Zerline connects on the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bengals drive about to get going. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way, because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe you give him a couple easy throws that he can complete, and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, and still in the first half here, a long way to go. Over the middle, he finds Higgins. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. Here we go. So now a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Now Burrow. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he'll take it across midfield down into Jet territory. And the Bengals on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Once again, they run with Mixon. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
They'll run it here with Pirine. And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now Pirine. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
2021 was another season for Pirine as the dependable backup and change of pace guy in Cincinnati. He served as a nice compliment to Joe Mixon, and the Bengals got him more involved as a pass catcher, too. His 27 catches were a new season high.
And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. Here we go. 3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. Mixon with a first down carry. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 2nd and 4. They're passing here. Joe Burrow steps away to his left. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. Burrow on his toes that time as they get the first down.
Evident there that he learned his lesson from the last drive. No way he was going to force a throw that time. When nothing broke open, kept it, and ended up running for a first down himself.
And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3. On 2nd and goal, one man stands in the backfield, and that's Mixon. They'll give it to him again. And this time he is in. Joe Mixon punching it in from a yard away. And the Bengals are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that cuts the lead to 28-14. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent off. He's got a man, complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now White. Open man is Uzomah. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's White. Got an open man. That's C.J. Uzomah. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Part of what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
And it's caught. Touchdown. Corey Davis from 13 yards out. And the Jets have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. And oh, it's no good on the PAT, so they can't add on here. And our score is going to stay right where it is. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, you know me, whether you need it or not, I'm going to give a little unsolicited advice. Just throw it downfield out of the pocket, only if you're absolutely sure. Otherwise, use your running ability and try and get those yards a safer way.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. And the Jets will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. Well, we've seen a lot of mistakes here in this first half, and another there on the interception.
Yeah, they're certainly starting to pile up, aren't they? Because, let's face it, we expect a miscue here and there, but they're already down 3 scores and still giving the ball away. If they want to get back into this one, they've got to take care of the ball because right now the way they're playing doesn't say a whole lot for their chances. I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
Six-yard return after a punt of 48. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Bengals drive about to get going. And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Burrow. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! And the Jets set to receive this 3rd quarter kickoff, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I liked what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. The play fake, now White. He finds Wilson. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. This is caught. Touchdown, Jets. C.J. Uzomah. Beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Jets come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the 3rd quarter. Zerline good with a PAT. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. Well, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Here's Burrow. He's going to wind up and air it out. And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And this will be incomplete. Both players with a shot at it that time, but neither coming away with it. Here's Kevin Huber now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Here's Berrios. It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down as he goes 32 yards on the return. And the Jets will have a short field to work with as they take over 1st and 10. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A first throw for the backup Wilson. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Sam Hubbard making his presence felt in the backfield.
Sam Hubbard just continues to quietly produce for the Bengals. He plays the run, but he can also rush the passer, and had 7.5 sacks in 2021.
Throwing on 2nd and long. White, he's going to look deep for more. Got a man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets. Elijah Moore, 43 yards. And the Jets are pouring it on. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
Zerline connects on the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10. Down at the 31. Burrow looking to pass. And he'll find Chase on the right side complete. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long, but a nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Again, it's Mixon. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And this won't do it. He needed 6. He only got halfway there. They'll run it with Pirine, and he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. Well, they got the ball already. They're not going to risk the yardage and running another 4th down. They decline it. And what was that they taught you in law school, that possession is 9/10 of the law? I didn't go to law school. Oh, you didn't? I thought you did. Well, I'm going to give that to you anyway. Possession is 9/10 of the law, and it's 9/10 of this game, too. Having the football counts. You're so litigious. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. And the tackle there by Jermaine Pratt. Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain. On 2nd and 7, White. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Oh, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football. He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Here's the Jets punter now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. So a solid punt, but also a nice return there of 14 yards. And the Bengals will take over in terrific field position. On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula. Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now they go play action now. Burrow. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. Hey, nothing to see here, just your standard 4th down gain of 28 yards. And the drive keeps going. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. On the delay, it's Mixon. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. A quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete. Well, he certainly didn't like what he saw at all from the coverage on his primary reads, and he didn't even have any luck trying to get back to his safety valve. Give defense a credit. Coverage was in lockdown mode everywhere. Slant pass to Boyd. And he'll get inside the 10, but he's short of the line he needed. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that'll bring up 4th down. They'll try and throw forward with Burrow. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And the Jets are going to get the football back. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th, and we've seen them do things like this all game. It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't. Ball again on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down.
Let's bring it. 59's Mike.
On third down, here's Hall. And they'll get to him short of the first down at about the 16. Call it a gain of 5. Fourth down now.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Bengals take over 1st and 10.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Now Burrow on first down. He's going to have the hook up here to Chase. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down. And the Bengals on third down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This will be 3rd and 6. Steps away. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
There he goes, and for good reason. Running with it has paid dividends earlier in this game and earlier on this drive. And until they prove they can stop him, I don't think he's going to be shy about continuing to run for first downs instead of Eric.
And now Burrow going to be intercepted yet again. And the Jets are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
And with that...
I'm the best in the